Let's queer up politics. Mississippi will have its first ever openly gay state legislator after a House candidate won his Democratic primary election runoff recently. Fabian Nelson, a 38-year-old realtor from Byram, prevailed over Roshunda Harris-Allen, an education professor at Tougaloo College, an alderwoman in Byram. The race to represent the House district in the South Jackson metro area was decided in a runoff after neither Nelson nor Allen received a majority vote in the August 8th primary. A local pastor finished a distant third and did not advance to the runoff. Nelson's victory comes on the heels of a historic wave of restrictions passed by Republican-controlled legislatures targeting the rights of transgender people. LGBTQ+ advocates say they've seen a record number of measures aimed at their community in 2023. Republicans did not field a candidate for the general election, so Nelson will go on to represent the district. He will be sworn in before the next legislative session in January. His win marks the fulfillment of a goal he's had since visiting the Capitol on an elementary school field trip and telling his teacher he'd sit on the House floor one day. In an interview after Nelson's victory, Rob Hill, state director of the Human Rights Campaign's Mississippi chapter, said that the victory sends a message that the majority of people reject animosity against the LGBTQ+ community. Well, I think that's awesome news, and I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm wondering, why did the Republicans not field a candidate? But anyway, I'll take a win where we can get it. And I think it's a really great point, and it's what I've been saying. The majority of people do not have an issue with transgender people, with gay people, with anyone else. It's the people who are really trying to keep control and hold on to their power that see us as a threat or see us as a target.
You know, it's interesting. Those that claim that progressives cheat the most. And that's what happened in Mississippi. And it comes to your point. You're saying the majority of Americans do actually support the process of trans community, the black community, the LGBTQ community, women's rights for self-determination in healthcare. The way radical GOP overcome that is to cheat, and to cheat, they gerrymander. And so as a result, they can wipe out whole swaths of people. You must re-register. You've got to show up between 2:37 and 3:33. You can't have water or food in the line. You can't. And what is it? It's mostly toxic, old, white men that are passing these laws to do that. I love this. I just want to say, I love this story when it came to my attention. Fabian Nelson, we should say his name 1,000 times. I love it first. He's 39 years old. He's not my age. Love that. I love that he's black. He's not my skin color. I love that. But most importantly of all, I love he's from Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi has among the highest black identifying, not identifying, I'm using the wrong words, in terms of representation in Jackson, Mississippi, in Jackson County, among the highest in the United States. And they can't get a state representative. They can't get people to Congress. And the reason is the radical, older white guys cheated. This was, now to your point of why there's no candidate, this was contested over the last 2 years. This has been in lawsuit for 2 years because of the gerrymandering of the change of Jackson to prevent this from happening. Now, they won. Congratulations. And when I say they, I mean everyone that supports progressive thinking beyond older privileged white men, they won. And by the way, you should have taken a page out of the very famous film The Help, which took place in Jackson, Mississippi, where the black maids write a book about what toxic white men and white Karens are doing in Jackson, Mississippi. 50 years later, the black community has a very significant voice in that same community, and I think the only thing left to do to celebrate Fabian Nelson's victory for going on unopposed is to make a lot of chocolate pies. All that's left to do.
And watch them eat it.
I want to join on the celebration of Fabian Nelson, and also this story it shows the power of
visualization, manifestation, and representation, right? So it says that when he went to the floor of the house, he saw himself there. And as a child, he could manifest, one day I'm going to be here. But now watch what's going to happen to the next generation. Now we have Fabian Nelson for young black kids to go to the floor of the Senate and see him there and see him proudly executing his duties. So congratulations, Fabian. You give us hope, all of us hope.
And as one gay black man to another, to be able to one day hopefully shake his hand, look him in the eyes, give him that black look, that and like us connect like that is going to be like such a magical, impactful moment, because you can't do that with a lot of lawmakers. They don't get this. They're not all gay, black, sort of young men. I'm much younger than him. But I think this is just incredible that I have somebody that I can connect with in that way that's up there now. So thank you so much.
One final thought before we move on. The other issue of, I love the representation note, you can't cheat forever. One thing that we have to constantly keep in front of us is we're getting our asses kicked here in Florida, but you can't cheat forever. The polls of what's happening in the presidential election shows it. He's down 13 points from 4 months ago, he who shall not be named. There is a reason why. He can't export it to the rest of America. We asked, we wondered, we talked about it. The issue has been resolved. You can't export your crazy outside of the borders of the state of Florida. And now they're even having trouble doing that. I just point out exactly how this seat was secured in Greater Jackson, Mississippi, is what the federal court has just said in the last 7 days in North Florida. And the radical redistricting map that was forced down everyone's throat to gerrymander away, especially black representation in Duval County and Jacksonville. You can't hold people down forever. Things will change. They will fight. People will be elected, just like Fabian Nelson.
Indeed, indeed.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show, brought to you from Happening Out Television Network. We operate in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ+ community. We educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching us on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the story going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.